Welcome to Ringside Rips by Andres Cortes. Now, let me tell you about what's happening with Liv Morgan because it's more than what meets the eye, it's more than what just happened, and it's more than what Rhea Ripley just could have occurred. It is the pinnacle of wrestling right now, it is the pinnacle of sports writing, and we have to pay close attention because it has been an inception ever since the beginning of our time. It has been the meaning of life, and it has been everything that we have been watching for, because Dominik Mysterio is just a pawn in this big scheme. And if we have to believe anything, is that Liv Morgan had it planned out, and that she had definitely seen everything that would fall into place. And we have to talk about Finn Balor, if he is involved in any case, and what he has been constituting to be in the behavior against Damian Priest. We saw the fall of Judgment Day, one of the biggest stables of 2022 and 2023, and we have now seen them dismembered. We have now seen them disappear from the roster and from their group. We don't know exactly what might happen to JD McDonough, what might happen to Carlito, but we do know that Finn Balor has betrayed his brother, his best friend ever, Damian Priest. We do know that Dominik Mysterio has betrayed his mommy, and we have to dive deeper into the psychology in between why and how it affected not only them as characters, but in the development of WWE wrestling storylines. Now, taking a diver look at Liv Morgan, we know that her storyline has always been against Rhea Ripley. We know that they already have an established background in what they have done in NXT before, and we are now bringing it up, and we are now taking advantage of this chemistry that these legends like to fight with each other, that these legends like to participate and like to be the ones in the ring once against another for that title. And Dominic Mysterio, let's not pay attention until this key integration of this particle, because we must see that Dominic Mysterio has definitely carried the weight into everything he has done. Dominic Mysterio continues to do an evolutionary work as he is beginning to be exactly like his not dad, stepdad, whatever you might want to call him, dad, Eddie Guerrero, and his turn right. He has been constituting, and for everything he has been constructing into the storyline, because they now hate each other, they now fight for each other, they now play for each other, and now we watch the kiss, the almighty kiss, and Will Morgan betrayed and have and enslaved his mind for him to become, because he had to choose between one or another. And I feel like deep inside he was just waiting to choose between who was going to be good and who was going to be right. So we need to pay closer attention into every single detail Dominic Mysterio now does from now forward, and what exactly is going to happen with the Judgment Day. I mean, none of them hold titles anymore. We have Rhea Ripley without a title, we have Damian Priest without a title, we have Finn Balor without a title, and they just lost those tag team titles. They don't have exactly anything to hold each other on. And if anything, they're gonna definitely pull apart, and we're gonna continue to see the evolution of that, because that is what great storyline telling does, and we are not afraid to see it all the way into WrestleMania, because that is exactly the way that these things carry out. I mean, evolutionary storyline telling between episodes, season, PLEs, and everything in between. We have seen the evolution of these characters, and if anything, I ask, what have you enjoyed most in seeing in Liv Morgan, or in Rhea Ripley, or in Dominic Mysterio, and how they have grown and how they have shown up and become their own self? Because this is only one step into the future of these young talented superstars. This is only one step into, from heel, the ultimate turn to babyface. And how will Dominic Mysterio do that? And how will Liv Morgan continue to defend her title? How will we continue to see Rhea Ripley now that she has completely turned into a babyface, and she's now alone? She is now a lone sector, and we're going to see how she takes the betrayal, and how her and Damian Price might respond into what exactly happened, because that was national television, however you want to paint it, and your best friends are stabbing you in the back for everybody else to see. And if anything, we knew that Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley were going to be switched out to baby faces. We knew exactly that they were going to be switched out and become the ultimate people that we already knew that they were going to become the superheroes as Damian Priest do it. But what exactly will become, and how do we see it now? At that SummerSlam, we got to see the separation of the Judgment Day and Damian Priest really go after and form a formidable feud against Finn Balor. He did not only make it against Finn Balor, but definitely create and what was taken into account. Now we need to pay close attention into what happened in that exact scene because we know that Finn Balor was texting someone when he was looking for Dominik Mysterio. We know exactly that there were some certain circumstances that might not have been in the particular place because the backstabbing of Dominic Mysterio was perfectly timed with the backstabbing of Finn Balor, and it is all because of the breaking apart of the Judgment Day. It is all because they are all planned out. It was already a conniving plan for them, and we got to see the influential potential things of social media and how they affect and how they are influenced and how exactly we all take for granted exactly what these wrestlers are doing, but they are just constructing and making the storylines for each and every one of us, making exactly what we all depend on, the exact illusion that we all look for, right? The belief that this is real, the belief that this is a real feud, even though we know that Dominic Mysterio is married, we believe that Liv Morgan could be the one that is stealing him from Rhea Ripley. And even though Rhea Ripley is not the actual wife, we believe that Rhea Ripley was the person that's getting hurt, that's getting her frustration feelings, that's getting her heart broken because we know that Rhea Ripley is there and entitled for every single take because it all takes down to this. What exactly are you looking for when you're looking for in a wrestling match? Who is the most aggressive? Who has the better moves? Or who has the best storyline to tell in and out of the ring? And right now, these ladies are doing it. Right now, exactly at this moment, these two ladies are pulling out all stops and doing everything it takes in their order to not only create the perfect in-ring matches, but the perfect drama in and outside of the ring that we all just follow them on social media. We got to see the social media and every other website get used. And if you know everything else we saw on Twitter X, that there were more scandals getting pulled out because of this. There were more things that we weren't gonna mention, but it was. And that's exactly the beauty of storytelling of this new rivalry and of SummerSlam because this exactly was how they were going to blow it up, how they were going to make SummerSlam one of the biggest events that it's ever been and one of the biggest ways that it's ever been before, how they were going to make SummerSlam phenomenal, and for next year to really say, hey, look, we can barely even fit all these title changes that had to happen on SmackDown and in the PLE, all these things that kept on happening on the Cookout, the Great American Battle Bash, and everything else in between. And we're gonna be scratching our heads and saying, yes, SummerSlam does have to be bigger. SummerSlam does have to be a 2-night event. And we saw the return of Roman Reigns, and we saw Cody Rhodes defeating the Bloodline, and what appeared to be WrestleMania Part 2, where everybody else was running in to help Cody Rhodes that hadn't run in before. And they were trying to defend the Bloodline with Bloodline rules, and we only expected one thing and one thing only because everybody else was talking about it. So why wouldn't it happen? And I mean, this is as predictable as the WWE is getting right now. And don't understand me as complaining or anything, but we all saw that Roman Reigns was going to interfere and come in. And we all thought that he was going to be bloodline against bloodline because that's what the blood is coming up. And we all saw that Gunther was going to win. And we all saw that Braun Breaker was going to win. And we all knew that LA Knight was going to win. And I'm wondering why, if anything, yes, it's predictable. Well, why, or is it too predictable? Why is it so predictable? Why is it so predictable that Roman Reigns had no reaction? He didn't even react with anything. He literally played his music, came down to the ring, just announced it, and walked down with anything. He went straight to Solo Sokoa and walked out, looked back like, hey, Cody, why are you waiting so long to pin the guy when he's already out? Why are you waiting so long to actually do what you have to do when I've done the job for you? And Cody just decided to say, hey, I don't need your help. I'm going to do my own finisher and passed it off and finished it like that. And Roman Reigns just kind of left it off. And it kind of felt like, hey, you're next, but let's not focus on that right now. And hopefully they do a type of rematch. But this time, I don't know. Who would you be rooting for? Because I think I'm rooting for Roman Reigns now. Everybody's rooting for Roman Reigns, and why would you want to continue seeing the Cody era when nothing has happened in the Cody era? I mean, no offense. Look, Logan Paul era, right? It ended. LA Knight, new champion. There's no feud that's gonna continue there. Logan Paul is gonna take probably a big break from the WWE, and we're gonna probably see some cool stuff happening with the US title, which I'm really excited about. Same thing for the Intercontinental Championship, and I hope that Braun Breaker doesn't just keep on blasting through them. Congratulations to Queen Nia Jax for taking on that title reign. We all kind of knew that Bayley was going to lose. And Bayley, no offense, but nothing really cooked in your title reign. I mean, you got that overcoming over your own club. But then after that, it just kind of died out. And it was kind of disappointing because we all really believed that there could be something else. And they never lined you up with a good title opponent. And all they did was take that title away from you. And SummerSlam was that, just that. Titles being taken away, hopes being dashed, and everything being destroyed. We got to see CM Punk and Drew McIntyre face off. And that was the hope that we all had, because Drew McIntyre and CM Punk should have been the match of the night. It should have been what we all wanted. But if anything, it was kind of mediocre. I mean, we all saw great things, great finishers. We all saw CM Punk back in action. But wasn't it kind of reserved? Wasn't it kind of feeling like these two were kind of lacking in that blockbuster emotional rage that they both carried on for so long? Only for them to fall back and for the match only to end in a pinfall, with Rollins kind of hesitating at the end for him not to pinfall. I mean, yes, I get it. This is all building up for more. It couldn't have been the climax right now. It's all building up for CM Punk to call out and say, hey, I had actually beat Drew McIntyre, but Seth Rollins hadn't count. But what I'm saying is, weren't they supposedly really aggressive that they didn't care if the ref would have counted? I mean, didn't these people want to kill each other? To the point where we're looking at a last man standing match, a 10 count, right? It doesn't matter if you can hold your opponent down for the pin of 3. It should have mattered that they knocked each other out. And I thought that's what the rage was building up for. But in the end, it seems like this is only a continuation, which I feel like we all knew was going to happen. So thank you for watching.